Okay, so here we are with the number line fraction divided by a whole number. I've done the math up here, used my reciprocation model, checked for cross simplification, of which there was none, got my final answer, made sure that I couldn't reduce it or convert it to a mixed numeral. My final answer is 5 out of 16. I've drawn down on the bottom here the number line that would represent this particular question that we have. I've started off by identifying 5/8, and now I'm going to divide that 5/8 by 2. I know that if I could estimate here that my 5/8 would be somewhere in the middle of this green box, right? If I divide this by 2, I would have a line somewhere in the middle. But it doesn't tell me what I would have on the outside of the pieces that I didn't account for. So it's hard for me to say what the denominator would be and how many pieces of that denominator would fit into that unless I do the physical work of chopping it up into smaller pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 5/8 and every original piece and I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. So if I have 1/8 and I cut it into 2 pieces, I now have 1 out of a possible 16 because I will have to cut each other piece into 2 as well. And if I do that, you can see that I would end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 pieces. So what happens then is this becomes 16 out of 16, and the point where everywhere that I've cut along here, I can identify that as a 16th. So here, I would double this, and this would be 10 out of 16. So now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I take a piece from each one of the original ones and compile them together. So remembering that our black lines are our original pieces, I'm going to take 1 from each of them. And I'm going to identify those pieces. If I smush all those down to the end here, you'll see that I'm going to get actually pretty close to that mark. So what I need to do is count what would I have if I were to take these, because these lined pieces represent half of our original piece, right? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty. So that means that our shaded black lines represent half of our original piece. The great thing is that I can identify that I now have 5 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of my possible 16 pieces. So if I were to slide all those down, 5/16 would represent half of 5/8.